So let's get start demo first. So here I just build a quiz application in our Blazor WebAssembly here, and over here you can see there's a first questions. So user can choose any of the options. For example, I can choose of these options. So this is correct. This will not correct. So it will be prompt. Okay. So this is a correct option. You have choose the wrong option. So this is the correct option, and then you can just click of the next option, next question. So it will load another questions, the next questions, and here again you can choose options. For example, I just choose this guy. So see, this is again incorrect. So if it is incorrect, so it will tell okay, this is incorrect, and it is the correct options for this questions, and then you move it to next, and then again they have another questions, whatever setup of questions we have. So that's appearing in the next questions, and then when I click that correct option, so now see it is correct. So it will also say okay, this is correct, and then finally once you correct all the questions and this is the last question, so then it will show the show result. So once you click the show result, you will see whatever the question you are attempt and what are the correct and what are the wrongs, right? So this is our score, the complete quiz applications, right, that actually be built over here. So let's see how we can start this application and how can build this application quickly. So before start this application in the Blazor, I'm especially recommend if you first time visit my channel. So this is my channel .NET relevant example, and you can go to that Blazor section. So there is a many Blazor section which have server and Blazor WebAssembly and Blazor hybrid app. So you can go through if you first time you don't know about that Blazor and all. So there is a many stuff actually over here, like quick grid, and using that quick grid Blazor application, complete hotel management system, and authentication authorization. Actually everything we have covered in the Blazor, so you can go through that Blazor part. Apart from that, one more thing actually I especially recommend, that is this guy. So this is newly I just created. This is a now API AI cloud 3.5 AI. So this, using this also we can create any application, that code and all everything they will give us. So based on this also you can just start learning so any application if you don't know that technology. So that's why I'm especially recommend this guy. So let's start. So first what I need to do, simply I have to just go to the open that Visual Studio and create a new project. I will show you that from that scratch, and create a template over here, that is a Blazor Web Assembly standalone template. So I will use that Blazor Web Assembly standalone, so that I will show you how we can create it over here. So also we can just name it as a Blazor app quiz, and that we have to change that location. So this is my locations, and next, and you can use whatever your framework do you have. So I will use as of now .NET 8, which is a stable version. So create. Now my application got created. Now it is trying to restore. So I think it should be restored. Yeah, it is restored completely. So before start implementation, we have to make sure okay, whatever actually created the structure and application, that is proper running or not, because sometime actually the missing reference and all, it is creating a problem. So that's why we have to make sure. So my application got running over here. So this is my application. This is a default Blazor application template, so which have weather forecast, counter, and home page. That means it is working perfectly. So now close that application and now start to implementation. So first what I need to do, go to that page section and go to that home section. I will not create any new component, I will do that existing template. So if you want to actually that professional application in the Blazor, you can go through my channel and you can take it, because I show everything over there. So let me start from here. I'll show you how we can easily create it. So first of all, what I need to do, actually I have to create one class that will be store that our question and answer. So as of now I will use a simple approach, but yeah, in upcoming session we will create they will store this data in our Firebase DB or any other DB, and then we will get it and we will do that. But yeah, from starting I would like to recommend, this is a starting phase, so you have to start from this way. So first what I need to do, I have to just create a questions questions class as a model class. So let me start so that I can set up my questions over here. So let me create a quiz questions class, and in this quiz question class I have to require few properties. So that would be, for example, that quiz questions have a questions along with their options, and also which is that correct options. So this is just a dummy's perspective, but yeah, for the real world actually this should not be like that. Okay, so that question it's fine, this question and option is fine, but answer should not be keep in this place. That should be on once a user hit the next button or just choose that correct options. So that time actually we have to compare, okay, this question is correct option or not in this server side, not in the client side. Okay, so that we will do in the next phase, but yeah, this is that starting phase. So I will starting from this way. So I will create a quiz question class, and then let me go back to an home uh, home component, and here let me create a code block over here. So in this code block let me create a code block, and in this code block I just created that questions. I have just few questions I have already handy, but whatever questions you have, you can just create it. For example, see, I just created this in a private variable quiz data, and this quiz data I just refer that quiz question, and this quiz question I just referring this few questions, whatever question. Like as of now, I just prepared 3 questions and their options and their answer as well, right? So I just storing, but yeah, this we can do in a upcoming session from that API or from the database as well. So this is the first property, and now second property would be for here. Uh, as of now, this guy like current questions index. So what is that current question index? Because based on this actually we will try to do next button appearing. Okay, so that's why we have to record this field, and then another field also we required over here, that is selection options. So which one user actually selected that options, so that's why we have to record this field. And also we have to record, it is a question answer, user has choose that answer or not. If not, so that will be false. If it is yes, so that is true. So that's why we require this answer variable, and then one last variable we require is the correct answer. So user select the correct answer or no, wrong answer. Based on this flag actually we will try to do. Don't worry about that, it is a little bit confusing might be, but yeah, once I implement completely you will get the idea actually why we record those field. Okay, so now what I will do, I have to record one selection options. Okay, so let me quickly create a selection option method, right? For example, this. So I just create a private selection options, and this is that index. What is that current question index? So based on this index I just checked, okay, is answer is true or false. So if it is not equal to true, so that means I have to go to over here and using that, it is a selection index option over here, and its answer is true, right? And then we have to just getting the data that particular index, and that answer actually it is the answer also just comparing. Okay, if it is answer is equal to that I have to just adding, okay, this is a correct answer plus plus, means whatever if it is correct, if it is the answer is correct, then we have to store that score. So this is actually a score variable, so that's why we have to just increment that variable numbers, right? So this is the how actually that using that now select options. Okay, and then move it to the next next button or next function, that is a next on next button, right? So let me create that function as well. Now see, this is another function which is actually refer that next question, means user wants to click the next question. So what will happen, simply again whatever the current questions index we will increment. Okay, and then again we have to set the selection option is -1 because user does not choose any options, right? This is a blank options. And then also we have to set the is answer is false. That means they will start from that, again they will select, they will choose select options, and then once this call select option, again we have to set all that variable over here, so that we have to trying to reset after this next questions. Okay, So this is that another functionality, and we required one more functionality, that is a show result. Means once you complete all that questions, so we have a button where actually we just click, we have that event of show result event, so that we will show, okay, so what is that current question index is we have. So that is actually the total index of that we have to just store over here, that will call this show result function. And one last function we have to record over here, that is referring this class. Okay, so based on this, based on this class we have to record the set. Okay, so now see, this is a get option class, this is a css class actually. So this is, we will, as of now I don't have, but I'll show you how can create that css option, so that if I choose that option, so this will refer a different css style. But once I choose that options and correct, so that means it will refer a different style for that correct options. If it is a wrong option, so wrong option style will be appearing. And this is a, if it is a default, so normal options over here. Okay, so let me quickly create some style as well first. After that we will actually create a HTML. So because see, my functionality, everything is done. Like we require that select option, we require that next option, we have to record that show result, and we have to record that get option, so that we can bind our HTML for based on this event, right? So those are things actually required. Once you've done, now we have to create a style. So go to over here and let me create another component with css component of that home controller, home component, right? So let me create quickly over here on this page, add, go to that component and choose it over here, css. So let me choose this guy and choose this css, and also just refer same name, whatever my component name. So my component is a home dot razor dot css file. You have to just keep the same name, so that it can be, make it a the child component of that particular main component has a child component of the css, so that whatever css I will create it over here inside component, that will apply or work is the home component. Okay, so let me quickly remove that and go to that and just paste it over here, because I have already handy, so I'm not going to writing down over here. See, I just first class css over here is a quiz container, so they will handle actually that minimum bit and padding, background and all. You can just set it, and then see, this is that option actually which we are talking over here. So let me go back again home here. So if you go that option of, see, this is that options, and this is options correct, options wrong, and this is options, right? So this is the options, and this is the options, and this is the option. And also we have options how hover, no, based on the mouse hover, and now this is the options correct, this is the option wrong, right? And then we have a feedback also. I'll show you where I can apply those things. So also we have a feedback correct, feedback wrong, and then also we have to use that next button style. So whatever next button you have to want, so that also you can do. And also we have the hover, mouse over that next button, you can just apply this style and whatever style you want. And then finally this is a result section where I can apply that result style, right? So this is a style section, you can just feel free add as per your requirement. So that is fine. So once you're done, now what I need to do, I have to just prepare our HTML and design, right? So as we saw in a demo, we have see as a, there's a questions, and then along with their options as a populated, right? So how we can do that? So simply, first let me start with this. So on the top we will apply over there, it is a question applications, right? So that's why I just added over here. And then we have to record, one condition first, like whatever our current index. So if it is, see, if it is no less than of that, right? Because if it is less than, so then it will go into this block. If it is not less than, that means it is a uh, it is the result section. So that's why, because this is trying to differentiate the block. So if it is a result section, so we have to just apply that our result section over here. So for example, see, this is I using the div, set that result, whatever apply the style, they will style. And then this is a quiz completed, and whatever that correct answer, whatever is the wrong answer, and what is that the total score of that, right? So this is simple section of that else block. And this if block, right? So if it is a questions, right, so that means if it is not complete that attempt, user that not attempt all that questions, so that time what you can do, first actually we have to require one div over there, right? So as per the design and style, okay, so what I can do, I can just create a first div and just block the div over here, and inside the div, see, this is the container, all that questions and options will be appearing in this quiz container, so that's why creating this. And then what I will do, I have to just create it over here. I'll show, okay, so this is a question, first, second, third, whatever things, it will dynamically will be created over here, applying over here. And then whatever that questions, like suppose question first, this is that question first, it will render from this data. So if you go back to what data section, so see, this is that question and this is that options, so that we have to trying to bind over here. So this is that questions, right? And this is just, applying, okay, 1 2 3 4 whatever things, okay. And then we have to trying to bind the options. So for that options, I already prepared that class of that option, so I have to just create another div. So let me create inside another div and just block the div over here. And inside these options, we have to just bind the all the data, whatever that current questions we have, right? So that we will iterate through a loop, and then we will bind over here. So let me quickly create a loop, and that inside that loop, now see, so this is the loop, for loop, and whatever quiz current index, based on the current index, I'm getting that count, and then iterate one by one, right? So this is a first index, right? And first index have a first questions options, and it have as a array, right? So if you go back to over here, so see, this is options, and we have that array, and this array we will try to iterate, and we have to bind over here, right? So that we are trying to do over here. And once I bind, now see, in this options, every options we have to use the click event, and also that get options, which we have to already created over here, right? So see, this is that get options, and this is that select options, means once a user select, so that will be call this method, and get options will be called automatically over here, right? Because see, this on there is a no click event, just automatically will call, and then whatever the options based on this we will apply over here, right? And this is a on click event. So once you click on click event, so if it is a correct, so that will be highlighted over here, and also if first time it will be a disabled, right? Is answer is true, so that means it is disabled. If it is false, so that means it is enable, right? So based on this, actually that's why we have to use this is answered, right? And then this is the binding over here using that button, right? So those option, actually that 4 option or 5 option, whatever the option, they actually the button, right? So once is done, so this is a question binding complete, right? So after that we have to require one more section inside this over here, that is called uh this guy. So if it is answer true, that means that user select that options, right? Once you select that options, that means answer is true. And if it is answer true, so what is that, it is a wrong or right, right? So that we have to show over here. So let me quickly add over here as a feedback. Now see, this is that feedback class, right? And in this feedback class, again we have to trying to compare, okay, select option, whatever the select options, it is that current index inside that quiz, it is a corrected or not. So if it is corrected, so that means it is correct. If it is false, so that means it will show the false, and what will be the correct option, that also we have to appearing over here, that we have to trying to build over here, right? So this is easy. And once it is done, so once it is done, now the next part is over here, like that button, right? It is appearing the next button or next button, right? So based on this, we have to record one more section over here, that is called, it is simple, like see, the current questions is less than count of -1, then it is a next questions, right? So this is next question, means whatever that, if user is attempt first question, then it will appearing at the next question. And once question will end, means we have a 3 questions, right? And user complete all the 3 questions, then it will appearing this show result. That means once I click the show result, it will show that the record output, right? That also we have to show over here. See, that we will send whatever that last count, and based on the last count it will show over here. So now see, everything is done. Let me build it. Now build has succeed, and try to run and see in actions. Now see, as we have seen in the demo, is look like it's pretty much same, right? And it is have a quiz application, and whatever question is rendering, it is first question is rendering, and this is that question, and this is the options. Also see, hover is also working, everything is working, and it is enable, right? So that's why it's enable. Once I click any options, for example I choose this option, now see, this is the correct options, and once you correct options, everything is false, like all that option has been disabled. So that's why it's true or false based on this. And also once you select that question, you are appearing this button, right? So it is correct, that means it is fine, you got that score as well. Click the next option, again it is appearing without the button. And once I choose any wrong options, so now see, I just choose the wrong options, so it is saying with this color, okay, this is a wrong options, means wrong answer, as well as this is the right options. And what is that wrong option and what is the right option, that's also we have to prepare over here. And again we have to appear that next question, because we have again another question. So once I have the next question, now see, this is a third question and last question. So if user the attempt this question, for example I'm using this guy, right? So once you use this guy, see, this is the last question. That's why this time it is not appearing as a next button, it is show the show result, because you have complete all that questions. And once you click the show result, you will appear that quiz, complete quiz, whatever your correct answer, whatever your wrong answer, and your score out of 1 up out of 3. So that how actually easily we can create it. But yeah, this is a, I already, as I told you, this is a starting phase, so that's why I show you in this, directly data from that over here. But yeah, this is a not a right way to store the data directly on this questions list of the questions, right? That should be stored in our somewhere in a database. So once I click that next button, or once I click that, select options, for example, let me elaborate something. Yeah, so see, select option. So once you select this option, it call over here as of now. See, as of now we have calling over here, and we have to just compare that whatever the data over here. But yeah, in this call we have to call from the database and compare that, okay, what is that correct option and wrong answer. Based on this we have to just calculate the score and all. So that we will do in upcoming session, right? So till now, thank you, have a nice day, and don't forget to like, subscribe and share.